What's going on, guys? I figured since it's been a minute since I've done a good old-fashioned motovlog that I'd go ahead and whip one up for you. And since it's the beginning of the year, I figured I'd go ahead and talk about what my plans are for 2020 with the YouTube channel. Now, since January's already over, I should probably go back and start with what happened in January. Although, honestly, it wasn't a whole lot. Let's see, I didn't do anything at all with the Harley. I didn't do anything at all with the Ford. And I did absolutely nothing with the Ruckus. So, there you go. That's what happened in January. Although, those of you that follow my social media pages, which if you don't, go ahead, I'll drop links. You know that I got a lathe, and I'm very excited for my lathe. So, coming later in the year, I will be doing lathe videos because I really like running lathes. I used to be a machinist back in college to kind of make a little extra money. And my favorite was running the lathe. Now, the lathe that I got does need a little bit of work, so you guys will get to see me fixing it up a little bit before I start making parts. I do have a couple ideas for it. I got a couple parts in my head for the Ruckus that I want to do. I need to get it fixed more better first, though. And I've got a couple ideas in my head for the 63. I'm going to keep those ideas under my hat now for just a minute until I get a little closer to actually making these. So, yeah, that's the lathe. Let's see, trips that I'm going on that I'm going to share with you guys. I actually have several trips planned for 2020, but a lot of them are either for work or for weddings. I'm at that age where everyone's getting married, so I'm going to a lot of weddings. And neither of those kinds of trips I don't think you guys really care about, so I'll probably not report anything on those. Because you don't care what I do for work, and you don't care about my friends from high school and college that are getting married. So, yeah, not going to worry about those. I do have a trip in May coming up for the 63. There's a car show down in South Florida that honestly isn't that big of a deal, like the car show itself. I just want an excuse to drive my 63 F-250 down Route 1, because that's a really nice drive down along the coast. So I'm going to do that, and then also planning on going back to the turkey run in November, just like I do every year. But really, that's all the trips that I have planned. So, let's talk about what garage stuff I'm going to be doing. I guess I can go ahead and start with the Harley. I would really like to put a new clutch in it, just because it's out of warranty, and the clutch in these is pretty famous for exploding. So I kind of want to go ahead and preventative maintenance. Is that the right word? Preventative? Or preventive? Whatever. I want to go ahead and replace the clutch with a more better one before it completely grenades and tears my motor apart. I think that's pretty much it for the Harley. I've got it more or less where I want it for now. So let's see, let's go ahead and talk about the Ruckus next. Well, I guess I should probably do a video introducing the Ruckus, but I'll probably record some Ruckus videos out of order, because right now it doesn't run, at least not well enough to ride. So I'll probably fix it and then record a video, you know, introducing it, and publish that first, and then go back and record a video, or not, the video will already be recorded, but I'll record a video of it. I'll record a video of me fixing it, and then I'll record like a video introducing it, kind of telling you like what it is, what its problems were, what I've done to it, and go ahead and post that introduction video, and then later go back and post like the videos of me fixing it. I feel like that'll make more sense, you know, chronologically. Basically, my issue that I'm having with it though is, I mean, I'll go into this more once I get into actually fixing it, but basically I had carb issues, and I got a you know, really big go fast carb for it, and I think my problem is that I have too much carb for my small bore, and my solution to that problem is to go big bore. So you guys will get to see me boring out. I'm gonna go from, it's a stock 150, and I'm gonna put a 180 jug on it, and then hopefully it just won't run stupid rich like I think it currently is. And then in addition to that, I'm going to put an air fuel gauge on it, just so that I can really, well, one, know that that is for sure my problem, and two, I can use that to really dial in the carb and get it running good. And then once I have the air fuel gauge, once I get the ruckus dialed in, or I might do it on the truck first, but at some point I also, while I have an air fuel ratio gauge, I want to put it on the 63 and see for sure what it's doing, because I don't think that it's as good as it could be either. Speaking of the 63, I do have a couple plans for it. First up, I was actually planning on doing this weekend, is it's going to get rewired. Again, for those of you that follow my social media, you know that I got a bunch of wiring stuff for Christmas, and I've been having a bunch of electrical issues with it. So I'm going to be rewiring it. I was planning on doing that tomorrow, as of me recording this, but now it's looking like it's going to rain all day tomorrow, and I don't have a big enough garage, as you guys have seen, to work on anything in there without pulling everything out into the driveway. And I don't really want to be working on my truck in the driveway in the rain, and I don't really want to have half of my garage sitting out in the rain while I'm working on my truck. So I might not get to that just yet. Then at some point, I really need new tires for it. Like that's a must. My tires are garbage. To be honest, they were garbage when I got them, but they were cheap, and I was a poor college student. I'll finish this thought in just a minute when I finish getting gas. This is so you guys won't have to keep looking at this low fuel light that always seems to be on whenever I do a motovlog. I guess that's my thing. That I always do motovlogs on the way to the gas station. Let's see. Get gas. Oops. I didn't mean to close that. I meant to buy gas. It's really me. I'm at number 12. Yes, that's where I am. And we're gonna get 93 dead dinosaurs. There we go, that's much better. Go ahead and update my log. Today is the 31st. 23070. It took 2.772 at $8.62. And I promise there's a video on what I do with these numbers coming at some point, whenever I get around to it. Think of it this way though, the longer I wait to do it, the more data points I'll have, the more accurate my results will be. Right? Yeah? Makes sense. That's how statistics work, right? I think. I don't know. Statistics are black magic. There's my pocket. That's where I wanted to go. So anyway, what was I talking about? The 63 has garbage tires. I actually blew out one of my good used tires 2 weeks ago, I think. So it has its spare on it right now, which, to be honest, it was a spare because it was the worst of the 5 that I have. So it's not great itself. So I need new tires for sure. And I'm at a place where I could buy tires. Like I could afford to go buy 4 new tires. The problem is, I really want new wheels. Because it had stock wheels on it when I got it, the 16.5s. But I didn't really, I don't like the wheels that are on it. They look pretty much just like the wheels that are on now. But I swapped those out for a set of 16-inch wheels that my dad had laying around. The problem is that they came off of a Chevrolet, which isn't a big deal. The bolt pattern was the same. It's the same, 8-lug bolt pattern, the same spacing and everything. So it shouldn't have been a problem. The problem was that the Chevrolet hubs are smaller than my Ford hubs. So the wheels wouldn't fit over my big beefy hubs that I have. My solution to that problem was to take a blowtorch and cut the centers out of those wheels. Which I know sounds terrible now that I'm saying it out loud, but it has worked surprisingly well. Even the guy at the tire shop was amazed at how not terribly out of balance they were when I put my crappy tires on them. So I really need new wheels. I have some that I picked out that I really like. I'm going to keep that a secret for the time being though. And so anyway, that's my issue, is that I can't afford new wheels and new tires right now. So I want to wait a little bit. And I don't want to buy new tires because, hopefully in a couple months I'm going to be getting new wheels. And, I don't want to spend all this money on tires that I might put 1,000 miles on, And then, if I can get all of that accomplished, I think, assuming nothing breaks on either my trip in May or at the Turkey Run, which at this point I'm pretty confident that it's good, but it seems like every time I get confident something breaks on me. So I don't know, we'll see. But assuming that everything is happy and I have the budget, I think I'm going to take it to my dad's house for Christmas like I usually do, and I'm going to try again to re-gear it. Maybe now that the steering is significantly better with the new tie rod ends and the drag link that I put in it back in November, I think if I re-gear it, get the RPMs down a little bit, it might be able to do okay on the highway. And if not, it'll at least get better gas mileage. So yeah, that was my goals for that. And oh yeah, one more project that I had. I know I don't talk about my Super Duty a whole lot, but I have an idea that I think is pretty cool, and I think you guys are going to think it's pretty cool. I really want navigation in my truck, and I don't want it to be on my phone. Now, I don't necessarily care about it being in the dash, but I want it to be a permanent fixture. So I have an idea of how I can do that, and I'm gonna test it out in my Super Duty. And my idea is to kind of put it, mount it to the ceiling, right above the rearview mirror in between the sun visors, and then have it interface with my stock radio. Excuse me. Which I don't know how many of you, actually probably most of you don't know about the interface that I already have with my stock radio. Maybe I should take it apart and talk about it a little bit, because I think it's pretty cool how I did it. So it's actually been through several iterations. It started as a, okay, guy, okay, you, alright, now you're just gonna, okay. Anyway. The interface that I have with my stock radio, it started out as an auxiliary input, and the way it works is it has an on-off switch, and you've got to tie it into power and ground and all that, and then so you unplug the antenna of the stock radio, and then you plug the antenna into this little box, and then you plug the little box into where the antenna was in the back of your radio. And it basically works like an FM transmitter, except it's, it's hardwired. There's no wireless, so it works a little bit better, in my opinion, than the old FM transmitters that we had in the 90s. So that's what I had originally, and I actually had that in my last truck. And when I got rid of it, I pulled it out so that I could put it in my Super Duty. But when I put it in my Super Duty, I got the idea to make it Bluetooth. So I got a, $3 Bluetooth dongle from China that took forever and a day to get here. And I installed an outlet under the dash, because the Bluetooth dongle is powered by USB, so then I could put a USB plug in the outlet to power the USB dongle. So now I have Bluetooth in my stock head unit. If I was gonna do it differently, I would suck it up and just get a more expensive, better Bluetooth dongle, which I have an idea for a radio for the 63, because the 63 just has an AM radio. So I have an idea to put Bluetooth in it, and I did that. I have a $20 Bluetooth dongle on my radio in the garage for playing music in there, and I like that one a lot better. So I got another one of those, and I'm going to put in the 63 once I get it wired up and have a radio in there again. But anyway, the main reason for getting the better one, I mean, there's a little bit better sound quality, but I'm not an audiophile, so not enough for me to really care. My biggest reason for not liking the cheap Bluetooth dongle is it won't automatically reconnect for some reason. I have to manually reconnect to it every time, which is kind of annoying. I want to be able to just get in the truck and have my phone connect to it and be ready to go. I don't want to be futzing with it every time I go to drive. So anyway, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, obviously other stuff's gonna come up, or I'm gonna get other cool ideas and I'm just gonna do them. It's really hard to plan out an entire year, a year in advance. But that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. So if any of that sounds kind of neat to you, go ahead and subscribe if you're not already. Follow my social medias for sneak peeks and other stuff that I'm doing that I don't deem YouTube worthy. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.